stirred up social media and everybody going. During the game, they were doing an interview with Jalen Gillis, and he said they were talking about the quarterback battle going on. We're really just talking about his position and what he sees on the Cleveland Browns. He says some people are competitors and some people are entertainers. I'm here to compete for the quarterback spot. Now, obviously, those comments raised some questions about who is he talking about. Is he referring to his teammate and Shedeur Sanders? Is he referring, as he later tried to come out and clean it up and say he was referring to the media as the entertainers and not Shedeur as the entertainers. He said he was referring to the media, not to his quarterback teammate, which I'm not so exactly sure about that. But I'm going to get the fellas' opinion on it. First off, what do y'all think about Dillon Gabriel's game this past weekend against the Philadelphia Eagles? And then what do you think about his comments post-game? Wayne, I'll start with you.
Well, man, they have a problem in Cleveland. That's all I can tell you right now. He went out and played pretty decent. It was hot. I mean, he was under pressure because Shedeur had played so well. So he had to go out and play well. And he played pretty decent. He didn't play as well as Shedeur, but as a guy in the second preseason game, and that was his first action, he actually played pretty decent.
Yeah.
He made some mistakes, but Shedeur definitely outshined him, but he did okay. The pressure now is on Kenny Pickett, to me, a guy that hadn't really played at all. And
welcome to Turo. What can I give you?
Yeah, hey,
that makes a person that, that's kind of like on the bubble as far as I'm concerned, because he's the only one that had played. And if I got two rookies that's playing better than a guy that's in his second year that hadn't been proven, well, I'm going to take those two rookies and then my veteran Joe Flacco, who they named the starter today. So that made him accessible, and that made him accessible to be waived or traded or whatever. So the pressure's on Kenny Pickett. But as far as the comments, how clear can it get? How clear can it get, Rock? I mean, how clear can it get? I mean, when you start talking about entertainers, that's what they said pre-draft about Shedeur. I think that's one of the reasons why he didn't get drafted. So I'm just thinking, like, hey, man, this guy, how clear can it get? How clear can it get that he was talking about Shedeur? He couldn't have been talking about anything else. Shedeur is the one out there doing this right here.
Yeah.
Telling what time it is. That's Shedeur. Shedeur is the one that's getting all the media hype. It's Shedeur. So how clear can it get? I mean, and I think he tried to come back and try to, kind of clean it up a little bit by saying he was talking about the media, but no, it wasn't the media. It was Shedeur. And he thought about it and he came back and cleaned it up. And I'm curious to hear what Rocky has to say about it.
Well, again, no one really knows what he meant other than him. But considering the circumstances and he used the term entertainer, there are entertainers and competitors, and then he referenced himself as a competitor. Someone could easily surmise that he was referring to Shedeur. He said that he was talking about all the media out there that's looking for clicks and traction. The weird media is the entertainers. I've never really, in all my life, I've never heard media referred to as entertainers. And you had to go back to what Dan Lanning, his coach last year, said when during the pregame speech when they played Colorado. He said they're playing for clicks. We're playing for wins. So it's kind of that same juxtaposition. Now the problem with Kenny Pickett, to me, not Kenny Pickett, the problem with Dillon Gabriel is you can talk that talk, but you can't talk that talk after the performance that he put on the field versus Shedeur's performance. Now, I'll tell you this. Dillon Gabriel, his performance is like some of my workouts sometimes. They start off real good. But after I get about 10, 15, 20 minutes in, it gets real shoddy. You know what I mean? I'm trying to look for the exit. And unfortunately, the team gave him an exit because I thought if he could have came out after halftime like Shedeur did and sustained that play, he could have kind of redeemed himself from the pick six and the fumble. But at the end of the day, when as a QB, in your one showcase that you've had under the lights, you throw a pick and have a fumble, that's a failure, isn't it, Walker?
Pick six.
It was a pick six, yeah. It was a pick six.
Pick six.
How you turn this mic up?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, you right here. You got it.
First of all, it was a tremendous amount of pressure on this young kid, though, man. And he
I
did
agree.
go out and play pretty well. I mean, you have to think it's your first time out there on the field, and Shador did the same thing, but outshined him.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that he does have working for him is the fact that he was a third-round pick.
Yeah.
You know, when you're a third-round pick as a quarterback, you finna get $500,000 right up front. That's throwing out some money. Shador ain't gonna get that.
Well, they say
Shador, huh?
they say Shador. I read some quotes that Shador's bonus was $460.
Okay, well that means Dylan Gabriel's was $750.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, because right now everything is slotted. It's slotted by position. So
that's literally Shador's entire first year salary that he got in
a bonus.
In bonus.
Right.
Well, at least half of it.
Yeah.
I mean, and then these owners are rich, especially in Cleveland. He throwing out money like it ain't nothing because he's finna waste another about 72 on Deshaun Watson this year.
For real.
I mean,
Wow.
you know, I mean, you had Baker Mayfield as a first pick in the draft. You let him go. You just kind of threw away money there. So, I mean, they not hurting for any money.
Yeah, Baker had 33 guaranteed when he signed his.
Yeah. So you think about all the little things that's going on in Cleveland. Cleveland has problems, but if I'm Cleveland, I'm keeping my first my two draft picks, and I'm gonna go with Flacco, and just let these guys sit behind them. The thing about it, Cleveland is not gonna win anyway.
No.
They're not gonna win any games. They not a threat to challenge for the Super Bowl or a playoff, especially when you're playing in the division with Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, and Baltimore.
But you have guys on your team like Myles Garrett, like Njoku, like these guys, Denzel Ward. You have these guys on these guys in the prime of their career. Don't you have some obligation to put the best product out there when these guys are in the prime of their career? You just signed Myles Garrett for an ungodly amount of money.
You did, but that's what did you have to do to get him to stay? Because he asked for a trade too, right? He asked for a trade. So what did you have to do? You made him the highest paid player in the league to do that. Okay, so but you think about it. They was in the playoffs a year and a half ago. I mean, the year before last.
Yeah.
So they still have a roster that can compete. They have a roster that can compete, but you're in a division with Baltimore, who's my favorite to win the Super Bowl this year.
My mama's too. Shout out to my mama. She called. Hey, let me tell y'all, this is a little off topic. She said, baby, did you hear the good news? I was like, what? She said, I'm gonna be a grandmama. I'm like, who pregnant? She was like, Lamar's having a baby.
Wow. Okay.
So my mom is a huge Lamar Jackson fan. So I get it. But again, they're tooled up, and with their all their additions along with what they had, they should be a formidable team. And I agree with you. They're probably in the toughest division in football. I'll give that to you. But still, I'm just talking about what you as an organization owe your players that are in their prime.
You owe your fans.
And your fans.
Your fans. You owe everybody.
Yeah.
You owe your whole organization, but I just don't think they're capable to do it on offense. I don't think they have the guys on the outside that can get it done. I just don't think Judy is going to be an answer.
Well, I got to take you back to the summer of 1989 when you were in camp at the San Diego Chargers as an undrafted free agent.
Yeah.
You surely outperformed being able to make the team that year. You surely. At what point in the process does the team abandon the guy that they invested a pick in, and then start giving the guy that they obviously didn't think as highly of an opportunity? it happened for you. Certainly, it can happen for Shador. What does that look like?
Well, my thing is, when I went in, I was supposed to be on the practice squad. So they got me because I had hurt my knee. So I wasn't even supposed to come back. And so when I did come back in OTAs, I was giving them the business.
Yeah.
So after OTAs, the coach says, "Hey, man, you could be one of our guys." And so at that point, man, it was in my head, hey, I'm finna go out and make the squad. I'm finna go make the team. But then in training camp and then doing preseason games, you have to go out and perform. So we play against the Cowboys in preseason. I catch about 3 passes. I run a reverse for about 45 yards, run a kickoff, punts, all this type of stuff. After that, they told me, hey, take it easy. And then you start seeing yourself move up the depth chart. Like, so at first I was at the back of the line. You know, it's almost like riding the bus. I was at the back of the bus, man. I was at the back of the bus. And then probably about 2 weeks in the training camp after the first preseason game, you know, I was taking reps with the second team, and then next thing you know, I'm the third or fourth receiver. When they call 4 wides out, I'm going out with team 1.
Is it a conversation they had with you or the guys were in front of you?
It's a conversation they have with you because you're talking to your receiver coach, you're talking to your offensive coordinator, and you're talking to your head coach. And then you can see these people having confidence in you, and then they talking to you like you one of their guys. Like, they talk to people differently. I'm going to tell you that. So when you're a guy that's on the bubble and they know you're not going to make the team and you make a good play or something, they ain't saying nothing to you. But when I was out there and I was running by people and everything like that, and then you see them come back and they giving you high fives and they hitting you on your helmet, and the coach is talking to you, good job, and they called me Bug at the time, so they was like, Bug, good job. I already knew.
So this is my point. Like you're saying,
you play yourself in, but you can play yourself out too.
It seems to me that on the field, that there's nothing Shador can do on the field to improve his situation or circumstance. And I thought that's where you make your case for being a player is on the field. What do you make of the situation in camp where no matter how good Shador plays and no matter how bad the guys play in front of him, he's still kind of slotted in that same fourth quarterback position? And what is the team trying to accomplish by keeping him in that fourth slot?
Man, if you listen to everything that's been coming out of Cleveland, like they had some deal where they said they wasn't even supposed to draft him. And like the whole organization said no. And then at the last minute, the only person that wanted to draft him was the GM. You know, so you listen to everything that's being said, man, they didn't want this guy here in the first place. But now that he's here, he's got his own fan club. His jersey is the number 1 selling jersey
in the NFL.
That's crazy.
He's a moneymaker. They're not getting rid of him. I can tell you that.
No.
They're not getting rid of him. And then you got to think about the circus that is really going to be if they release him.
Oh, man.
So they put themselves in that situation. But one thing about it is he played himself in that situation.
He did.
Some people wanted him to fail. Probably in their organization. But he didn't. That's where they got in trouble because he came out and
they wanted him to be bad.
They wanted him to be bad. They wanted him to be bad. And it didn't work out.
I don't care if it's Deion Sanders, Barry Sanders, or Colonel Sanders. People that lost a whole lot of money betting against the Sanders. You understand what I'm saying? I don't care. Like you say, and I'm saying that no matter how much even if I'm a Shador guy, but even if I wasn't a Shador guy, I have to acquiesce to the point when they put him out there with guys who are gonna be UPS drivers, baristas, and Amazon drivers. He still was able to move the ball, right, and mistake-free and score touchdowns. And you put Dylan Gabriel out there with literally your first and second string guys, right? And he wasn't even playing the first. Philadelphia doesn't play their first line guys in
No.
in
against the twos.
he was playing. And so what I'm simply saying is, they stacked the deck so Dylan could be wildly successful in his debut,
and then keep trying.
And he had it going. And somebody mentioned this. I can't remember who mentioned this. He says it seems like once he got off the script, which is usually the first 15 plays, he fell off a cliff.
He did.
Yeah, because every game you go into it and it's scripted. The first 15, 20 plays. This is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do on first and long, second and long, third and medium, third and short, goal line situation, short yardage situation. So you have a pack and you have a game plan together on these plays, and it's these different plays that you can run in certain situations, and depending on down and distance or whatever. And so you already have it scripted, so you already know when you practice some plays, so you already have it in your head. Because you get this the day before the game.
Because you pretty much in preseason
you
for
already
sure.
know.
You know what looks you're gonna get pretty much with those plays, and you kind of know where your reads are gonna be. After you come off of that and you start calling the plays, then you have to be more instinctive as a player. You have to depend on your training.
Well, now you're calling plays based on what your offense coordinator see and what they see in the press box. Or if it's the play caller on the field, like I think Stefanski, I think he does his stuff on the field or whatever, and
he's the play caller, yeah.
So he has some guys in the press box telling them what kind. And in preseason, you're gonna get everything vanilla. You're gonna get all base defenses and this and that. But I've been seeing some team blitz too, but it's gonna be still simple things out of the base defense if they do blitz. So nobody's going to show what they're going to do during the season because nobody wants to be game plan for it right now. So it's basically throw and catch to me. And that's with both guys. That was Shedeur and him. So it's really basic stuff.
I just don't know. I've never seen them hype up a pick six before in my life. He played great. The pick six wasn't really his fault. Guys were running together. The head coach came out. The head coach came out and said, tried to place blame on the receivers.
No,
for the quarterback.
First off, well, I don't know what open looks like for sure in the NFL, but neither one of them, whoever he was throwing it was two guys over there, and both of them looked covered for one.
Yeah,
now
they threw it right between.
Now there's a guy on YouTube, and not on YouTube, but a guy on Instagram. That play is literally the same play that Shedeur threw his first touchdown. Right?
What they said.
Shedeur threw it to the guys, the third level guy, which obviously it was the third read.
Yeah.
Now, if you go back and look at that play, there's a window as soon as that tight end makes that break in that play, he's wide open. He eventually gets covered up because he continues to the sideline. My question to you, Walker, is how does he get to that read? How does Shedeur get to the third read and Dylan Gabriel forces it to the first two?
You got to think about it. It's a different defense. It's a different team.
Yeah.
And basically, when you're designing plays, you're not going to have two guys in the same area anyway. So
somebody's depth was wrong.
Yeah.
That's what the coach was saying.
Yeah, and somebody was wrong. But that still don't mean you have to throw it.
You don't have to throw it.
You don't have to throw it.
That's my point. No one made you throw it. They played
because you can throw that out of bounds. You can throw that out of bounds. You can do whatever. Yeah. So you don't have to throw it. Somebody was in the wrong spot.
But this is the point that I was getting to, and maybe either one of you guys can kind of comment to this. If you look at Shedeur's first 15 plays, I'm not gonna say he struggled, but he definitely didn't excel in those first 15 plays, considering that probably 9 of those plays were against the first team defense of the Carolina Panthers.
And
so
when he went out script, he started playing with
it. And that's what I was going to tell you. Well, what does it say about it? I'm not sure what to make of it. When the guy goes, once they start calling plays that aren't on the script, and he's able to elevate his play, because whether you think about it or not, if you look at Shedeur's second. He threw 23 passes, but if you look at those second 10, that second half of his passes, I want to say he was like 7 for 8 or 10 for 8 or something like that. And my point is saying that he got better as they got off script.
Yeah.
Does that say anything about the quarterback or the game plan?
It's just, and I hate to, but those plays he should hit. If you're trying to be an NFL quarterback, that's just throw and catch. You better be accurate. You better do something. And he has to impress because he's got all the pressure on him. He's got all the smoke. So when you get all the smoke, especially in preseason, and you trying to be an NFL quarterback, them throws you better make. If you a 5th round pick and you the last man on the totem pole, you better make those throws. But the thing about the whole situation is
what we got here, man?
Got some special guests intruding in here on
Oh man, hey.
mid show here. Look, this is the. So
Look
we
at
got a
that.
night to split this 3 ways, or we?
Hey man, hey, look at here.
We got Stevie Wonder going.
Yeah. So we
Yeah.
got a special guest crashing in here, folks. Like I said, it is the 1-year anniversary here today of CenTex Primetime. A year ago we started, and we have some special guests joining in here with us. The CEO to all the stuff you see here going on, not only CenTex but Lighthouse Streaming as well. Mr. Roy Gillis has come in bearing gifts.
Bearing
gifts.
bring the cake in. He parked his car right outside the front.
Parking lot pimping.
The CEO, but he can do that though, man. He's CEO.
Hey, I just wanted to say congratulations on 1 year. CenTex Primetime, Jalen, and of course none of this could be possible without these 2 guys that's on the set with you. Not only did they lend their sports intelligentsia, but they also lended their influence in this market, and which we needed 1 year ago. Didn't know, Rock, what was going. We started off with CBS, CBS Sports. The first of this year, some of that stuff had to change, but what we do know is that we stuck with it because we got something. And there are other media companies doing sports in Waco, and that's what I've been telling myself. I said, well, some of them may have the stadium, but we got the city. We got the city, and so congratulations. I got something else here. I know that there's some Cowboy fans on this set, and I know there is. I know we got Texas Tech in the house.
It's all over me.
Look, he can't even represent it.
All over me.
But I got something for the studio.
This the real deal.
Which camera am I on? I'm on this one. I want to just make sure that the people see we got some Houston. Now we're gonna get some other stuff, but we got some Houston in here.
I'm not a fan of the Cowboys or the Texans. I'm a fan of the team who paid me. That's San Diego.
You got a vested interest.
Hey, welcome. There's a few teams that paid you. So.
Minnesota paid me well. They did. Released me, but they paid me well.
But definitely, hey man, I'm excited about what's to come. We got something, like I said, we got the city, Rock, and we're gonna keep pushing forward and believe that doors are gonna continue to open. We got Friday Night Flex that's getting ready to kick off here. In just,
that's gonna
less
be
than
big.
2
That's
weeks.
big.
And,
that's big.
And so if you want to get on board, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to CenTex Sports Network. And we got some other stuff coming. Me and Rocky working on some. We got some stuff coming. So just stay tuned, keep rocking with us, and we're gonna keep putting out this great content.
Yes, sir, folks. Y'all heard it there first, man. First off, appreciate everybody in this room's help, man, to be able to get this going and keep it going for the last year, man. And we got some big things planned, like you said, the Friday Night Flex. Maybe one of these jerseys will have a Cowboy sign on it. Who knows?
Is that an Earl Campbell over there too?
That's Earl Campbell. That's a classic.
Now I can go. I can go with it. I can respect the Earl. I can respect the Earl, but that right there, man, I don't know.
Hey, come on.
Hey, that's the beauty of sports talk. We got different opinions coming from different places.
Well, like I say, man, I think it's only right, man, that we get some Cowboy stuff in here. Now, like I say, you need to get with your interior decorator and see what they can scrounge up, man. But I'm sure you can find some
We're gonna wait
Cowboy
till
man.
we're gonna wait till like week 6, and I hear there's gonna be a big discount that happened right around week 6.
Everything, tickets and everything.
Mid October, mid October, that fire
And
sale
if they
starts.
trade Michael Parsons, it's gonna start before the season starts.
Oh, that's a whole other thing.
Okay, well, we hoping they don't do that.
We look like we need a backup quarterback though. I know that.
Yeah.
Nah, Milton, he look. I can't even say what he looked like. He looked all right.
I heard they got one in Cleveland.
Yeah.
I heard.
Wow.
Let's talk about it.
Wow.
I heard they got one in Cleveland.
Can Dak handle it? It didn't work out good for Dylan Gabriel, but hopefully Dak can handle it. Hey, call Jerry, man. You got all their phone numbers.
Well, folks, like I said, one
CEO
year.
against another CEO.
Yeah, look, definitely.
One got money, one don't.
Friday Night Flex starting next week. You'll see these same faces up here, folks, for high school football to be able to cover. And we'll be talking some more. We got to go to a quick break here, folks, on CenTex Primetime. Wayne's got to get out of here. He'll jump on with us some more later. But want to thank everybody for tuning in so far. Stay tuned. We've got a lot more to talk about here on CenTex Primetime. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right here after this break.
All right, man, let me get out of here and go make this little old piece of change, man.
I don't get that money, Walt.
Man, you know I am.
Got to.
I wasn't going to miss this one, though.
No.
Appreciate it, bro.
Appreciate it.
I'll let you.
Hey, yeah. I need the cash app
Okay.
so I can win again this week.
Yeah, he plays square.
Square.
He on my board.
I need
He
to
on
get
my
on
board.
the fantasy too.
Yeah.
Send me the link, man, so I can get it.
Oh, I will. I'll send it to you. He feeling himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on, man?
Hey guys, we behind the scenes of CenTex Primetime. You see the TV in the back. You can search CenTex Sports Network and catch the produced version of this show. And the produced version has our lineup on it, has our name and everything.
Yeah.
It's the produced version.
Okay.
It's the produced version of the show. So I just wanted y'all to know that you can catch. You can catch the produced version. Hold on, let me go.
Just put it up on the TV again. Let's just shoot for like 6.
What you do with my?
Or if you
Oh,
want to do it
this
early, we can.
Okay.
6:30. Just put it on the screen when y'all ready to go.
6:30.
Oh man, cause I got one of your camera feeds in here on my little.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
One is the Zoa Z. Some start
Oh,
with
yeah,
Z.
yeah. That's that little camera.
That's a little camera right there.
Oh, you caught it on the network?
Yeah.
Yeah. The other one, it should be on there too if you need it, but it's, either one. Don't know.
Let me see.
You got your own produced version of it.
Yeah.
You catching-
No, that's why
the angles. Yeah, no, that's dope.
like I was trying to catch the iPhone camera, but
It was live a little bit.
Yeah.
yeah, I was trying to catch the iPhone camera, but for whatever reason,
Running back and forth, running like,
I can hear feet scuffling there. I didn't know if it was y'all or two.
two cutting up. You know he was.
I told him FaceTime Jerry in the truck.
Oh, yeah.
Take some of his edge off or whatever. He FaceTime Jerry while they send to play the game.
hey, the thing is, when we first walked in with that cake, we was trying to keep it like on the low. As soon as we walked in, two leaned out the door, he said, I'm hungry.
Yeah, two like he probably want. Hey,
He the one go eat it because I don't even eat cake.
You don't eat
That's what I
cake?
said. That's what I said. Neither one of them really eat cake.
No, I'm cookies, maybe a brownie. That's about.
How old was two when we tried to do that smash cake thing?
Hey.
One.
Oh yeah.
For what it's worth,
He's
I
changed
usually
that
don't.
up now.
I
He'll destroy that time.
usually don't eat white cake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
old model.
I like chocolate cake.
Yeah,
but-
yeah. You
but
know,
it-
hey,
And one thing
that's
about
what got
it,
Shannon
they
Sharp
snow.
in trouble, man.
Hey,
Like,
man.
he liked that vanilla cake. He paid $30 million for it.
I hope 30.
Or what? I forgot what his number was.
Oh my
It
God.
was something crazy though.
He played.
Something crazy.
He paid at least
Boy,
$10 million too much,
he
didn't
retired.
Nah, just-
he retired her.
Let me.
She was posting on Instagram talking about she found the Lord. I said, oh, she's retired now.
This middle button right here.
It's on?
Yeah.
You looking all crazy.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, what's going on? Who's that, Mr. Rocky?
he? What's up?
Uncle Rocky, that's what my kids call.
Mm. What's up there, brother?
What's up? Yeah, that makes that look good. The middle button's up.
Yeah.
My daughter said she seen you last night.
Yeah. She came by the house out there. They had a lot of people over there.
Sorry to hear about your mother, your grandmother-in-law.
No, yeah, definitely. Keep them in your prayers for sure.
Okay. Yeah, we got what we need. So you can stay in or you can bail out and come back in, whichever one. You stay.
You want to just do it now?
Yeah,
Start it off like
that.
okay.
Do it now, and I'll bring the what's the name in.
Okay.
Hey, don't let two knock off all the cake, man.
Yeah.
Because he will just stick his hand in there and start to eat.
How's it going out there in the jungle? And
That's a grind, but it's all right. Hey, some people are made for it.
hey, yeah.
Everybody ain't made for this.
Now you're
Everybody
right.
ain't made for this.
You're right.
They say some people made for it. I'm paid for it. So hey.
Yeah. I feel that.
Hey, that's
Here
hey.
we go, guys.
All right.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome back into CenTex Prime Time. Jalen Gillis still here as we are on the one year anniversary show here on CenTex Prime Time. As you guys just seen some of the presentations a second ago. We also talked a little bit about the Shador situation, him and Dylan Gabriel. I'm sure me and Rocky will touch some more on that. But before we jump back into it, folks, first off, I want to thank everybody for watching with us and staying here with us here at CenTex Prime Time. We get into the second hour. We've got another special guest here at the table with us that I want to introduce you guys to and let you guys get a chance to see somebody that's joined the team here as a part of the sales force, leader of the sales force here at CenTex Sports Network. Mr. Anthony Powell is here at the table with us. Anthony, what is going on?
Man, I'm so happy to be here. Happy to be a part of this beautiful team, man.
Yes, sir.
And happy for this 1 year anniversary, man.
Now, definitely. I appreciate you coming through. Tell us a little bit, about your starting here at CenTex and what you're trying to help us build and what the people can expect and how they can reach you and all of that.
Well, the good thing about coming over to CenTex Sports Marketing, we got a marketing department. We're just kind of utilizing everything that we can to bring the community, connect the community together, and bring a total use of everything and getting those business out there and making sure that we're here to develop everything for the small business, the barbershop, nursing. We want to do everything that we can to get CenTex Marketing to become the #1 in Central Texas. And from there on, that's what we're going to do. And so it's been a grind. It's been happy. It's been a blessing just to be here, to be out here and showing that something that you guys, the catalyst that you guys have built. And where you build, I want to build up on that thing for our marketing department and our advertising department. We're there for everyone. You can reach us through through the CenTex, CenTexSports.net, I believe. I think that's what we got. So now we'll put it on there.
Sales at CenTexSportsNetwork.com.
Sales at CenTexSportsNetwork.com. And we'll definitely have that out there for you, Jalen. I know we're going to put that out there.
Yeah,
and
sure,
so you can
sure.
reach us here 24/7. I'm here 24/7, and I can reach back out to you. We'll have a plan for you. We have something there that we can actually help your business grow, help your podcast grow, and also we're going to actually help the sports network that we, like I said, become a great success. That's what I'm here for, and that's what we're going to do.
Yes, sir, man. You got me fired up. I'm ready for first week now to go out there and get it done, man. But definitely, I appreciate what you're doing here at CenTex Sports, and man, I'm excited for the future on what we can build on.
Hey, and just can you go? I know you guys do a lot of different stuff, but can you give us an example of some kind of services that the marketing department can provide?
First, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead and finish.
Yeah, the marketing department can provide for a customer.
Well, just like now, I just left. I just had a previous customer, been in business now for about 15 years. Hasn't done any advertising, hasn't done anything, but his business is steady growing, but it's a word of mouth. And so now the word of mouth, and COVID brought that fluid thing where it taught us that we have to start using the internet. We have to start buying online. We have to start doing things that was different during that fluid time. And now bringing those, what I do and what we're doing, we're bringing those customers. When you're doing your podcast, we're gonna bring a customer to you for your business. And then that's what we're doing. So basically, we're gonna take a little mom and pop business or a big business, and we're gonna bring customers to them. And then we're gonna just not do that. We're gonna have a back end where we can say, okay, this is what we're doing. This is how we're gonna have analytics and data to show you this is what it's gonna take. So once I get that customer to you, now it's your job to do that. My job is to get that customer to you. My job is to get, if you're a business or you're MCC or you're a game, we want to get people in the seats, and that's gonna happen. We want to get business into your location. And so whatever that is, it's gonna go through that. Through our marketing department, our sales department, and our outreach and our network department. So we have packages for every customer that we can help bring those customers to you. And as well, we have real live data that we're gonna say, if you got likes, we got you, we put you on social media or different social medias and podcasts. Okay, we need to know where is it going? And then what is it gonna do for you?
Being a small business owner myself, me and my wife have been in business 20 years. And it's very important that we sit down and talk to people with the skill set like yourself and CenTex Marketing, because what you enable us to do is grow our business. Mm-hmm. And growing our business ultimately allows us to provide more services to the customer, but more importantly, it puts more money in our pockets as small business people. So when you go out to and visit your customers and people who sign on as sponsors and things like that, what ultimately happens, we use platforms like these to help other people grow their businesses and fulfill their dreams.
Yes.
And I appreciate you coming on board and assisting not only CenTex Sports Marketing, but being an instrument out there in the field to give other small businesses an opportunity to grow their business at an affordable price.
And the good thing about that, Rocky, and I'm glad you repeated that, it's that building that value. Building value from every customer. Everyone is not the same. But if you build that value, because something that's unique about your business or something unique about your company, there's another company that has very uniqueness. And what we got to do, we're not sitting there to selling, we're building that value. We building value based on what you needs and your wants and things that's gonna help your business grow and become a great success. And that's what we do here, and we're just gonna continue to keep growing to make sure that we are that calipers for the community and for the company as well, and for your company.
And for because I remember Keisha and we did it the hard way. We did what's called guerrilla marketing. That means that I printed out flyers and we went out to different places and handed it out hand to hand. There's a lot of time involved in that. There's a lot of really what I would call wasted time, because we passed flyers out to people that we didn't know if they worked, even had a job. We're in the tax business, for people that don't know. We don't know if they have a job. We don't know if they're on a fixed income. We don't even know if they're employed. We're just out here passing those flyers out. But with the tools that CenTex Marketing have, you guys can target the exact customer that you guys want. in a certain income bracket, a certain demographic, a certain location. You guys have those tools where you guys can use not only those tools, but then use analytics to go out and grow and may be able to upsell those customers, provide other services. Again, I just think it's a tremendous need that we have in our as a small business owner, being able to scale our business at affordable price.
Yes.
And because I love to run commercials on Channel 10 or ABC or NBC or whatever. But if you notice, all those slots are taken up by Coke, Dr. Pepper, McDonald's, whatever. Yeah. And the slots for our local businesses, you're talking about the big car lots, the big retail spots, the restaurants around town. So, but a mom and pop have very little outlets to get the word out about their business. And I would love for you and your staff to come and use our platform to kind of spread the word about their small business.
And Jalen and Rocky, we appreciate that. And the reason we appreciate that, and I appreciate you elaborating on that as well, because the small business and all the things, the headaches and all the turtles and things that you go through, you don't have to go through that. I'm here.
Yeah.
We're here to do that for you. We're that middleman. We're as we call it, we are the boots on the ground.
Yeah.
And so we're out here, we're on the stump to get those things happening and working for you and being a small business. And now, not saying we don't want the big business, but it's okay. But we want to start the small business because people, in our community and different communities, like, how can we get started? How did you get on this network? How did you do this? Well, come on, and I'm here at CenTex Marketing, CenTex Sports Marketing. We're here to show you and help you, and then we can actually brainstorm together to get you where you need to be. And just for if little affordable prices to get you out there, because some people can't. You're not on Channel 10, you're not on Channel 25, you're not on Fox. But guess what? We can be that Fox, we can be that Channel 10, we can be all that for you, and we can be there to help you in every avenue and venture that you're in. Let us help you become successful, and that's what we can do.
Absolutely, absolutely, Anthony, man. I really appreciate you coming in for a couple minutes and talking with us. He is also a very, very avid sports fan as well.
Yes.
Y'all hear him talking about marketing, but he can get in here and talk about whatever we're talking about in here as well. Anybody you looking forward to watching football season right around the corner, man? Any level of football, anybody you looking forward to watching this upcoming season?
Well, this upcoming season, definitely Baylor. Baylor's going to be our thing. I really want to go back and I want to Prairie View. I want to do some HBCUs, but Colorado is very interesting. Colorado is big talk for everybody.
Yeah, it is.
And and then our Cowboys. Our Cowboys are the thing, and hope we get to go ahead and sign Parson and get this thing over with so we can get out here and start rolling.
Yeah.
So that's and then we're on the basketball season coming up, volleyball. MCC has a new inaugural season for volleyball. Man, I'm volleyball, baseball,
everything.
Water polo, whatever. I can talk about it.
You told me you watched some swimming the other day. We were talking. Anthony watch everything you can get on to, but man, I appreciate you coming in here for a couple minutes and stopping and talking with us, Anthony. Definitely looking forward to having you come on some more too. And
Thank you guys, appreciate y'all, and just don't remember anything that you need. CenTex Sports Network and CenTex Sports Marketing, we can get you what you need. Thank y'all very much,
yes, sir. That is Mr. Anthony Powell, folks. Y'all know where to find him. Rewind it if you don't know where to find him. He gave out all his outlets and where you can find him and stuff like that. But I appreciate you coming on with us for a couple of minutes. Well, folks, like I said, 1 year anniversary show here on CenTex Primetime, folks. And me and Rocky, we're going to dive back into this, man, talking about some of the sports topics going on around here in the world of sports. We just got done wrapping up, talking a little bit of Shador, man, in the situation with Dillon Gabriel. The head coach is, as we would say here, cop and please for Dillon Gabriel. There was too many receivers over there. That's why he threw a pick. Okay, well, you could just not throw a pick six. I heard Dan Orlowski, who actually like his analysis on quarterbacks on ESPN, he says, I would give Dillon Gabriel the edge right now over Shador after his performance. And I'm trying to see, how do you give somebody an edge? One guy goes 2 touchdowns, no picks. One guy goes no touchdown, 2 turnovers. But we give him the edge. It's the little things in that. But just put a bow on that conversation. Who do you think getting that backup spot? Dillon Gabriel, Shador, who performed better in the preseason? Who you think is going to win that
Man,
spot?
I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. There's nothing that I've seen this fall camp that leads me to believe that until Dillon Gabriel is an abject failure on the field, I don't think Shador can leapfrog him. I think he has to be a complete failure. He he has to be a disaster or injured,
Mhm.
you know, and then Shador will get his spot. I think it's just one of those deals where they're committed to seeing the whole Dylan Gabriel project all the way through. Credit to the Browns if they have the patience for that. I know that me as a coach, I wouldn't have the patience for that.
Will he have a tenure for that? Will he be the coach long enough?
Well,
to
maybe,
sustain
like I
that
say,
project?
there must be something that he knows
Mhm.
that the rest of us don't know about this process. Because again, Dylan Gabriel is a 3rd round pick, and let's be perfect. I said this a couple weeks ago on the show.
Mhm.
Them drafting Shador Sanders at the 5th round did Dylan Gabriel a disservice.
Yes. I agree.
Them guys
I agree.
drafting him at the 3rd round, he should have the ability to grow as a quarterback, develop, at a pace that's in alignment with his draft status, which was a 3rd round pick. What happened when they drafted Shador behind him, it put them in direct competition with one another,
Sped that process up.
and now he doesn't get a chance to develop, in a way that is kind of almost organic. He's always, everything he does is being compared to Shador. Now, I don't think that Kevin Stefanski did him any favors by saying that it's a 4-man quarterback competition, because that was a lie.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That's not what it was.
Mhm.
But again, I'm not willing to make any definitive decisions on what's going to go on with the Browns till cut down day. I don't believe, coming into this situation, I didn't think they would have 4 quarterbacks going into the 3rd preseason game. I thought they would have let somebody go
Yeah.
now.
By now.
Maybe the injuries have kind of slowed that process up, but by cut down day, which is maybe the 25th, 26th, I can't remember
Something like
when
that,
cut
yeah.
down day is, we'll find out what the plans are for the Browns, Dylan Gabriel, and Shador Sanders, because there are some teams out there with some quarterback situations that need to be sorted out as well.
Absolutely.
Does Dylan Gabriel or Shador factor into those situations? Considering what the fans have invested already in Shador Sanders jerseys and how much the fan base has bought into the potential of Shador starting the game, I just don't see them cutting him or trading him. But I won't believe it until he's on the first opening day roster. There's no way he makes it to the practice squad, because in order to make it to the practice squad, you have to cut him.
Mhm.
Also, when you're on the practice squad, you're not protected.
Not at all.
So he, at any point, I don't see him going to the practice squad.
Me either.
Worst case scenario, something happens and he ends up on injury reserve.
Mhm.
I don't see that being a possibility as well. So, unfortunately, basically what I'm saying is Shador is in a situation where he's going to struggle to see the field this year.
Mhm.
But I hope at some point he does get an opportunity to showcase his skills and abilities, because I think when he does, it's going to be lights out.
Yeah, just like it was in that first preseason game. I'm like you. I think no matter what, at this point, Gabriel will be in front of Shador on the depth chart. For whatever the depth chart really means. I don't think it really means much. I think in the back of Kevin Stefanski said, he knows. Okay, Shador is our guy going into. Shador is the better of these guys going into the future. Flacco is the right now solution. Like you said, he will never touch the practice squad. That will be the biggest blunder, one of them in Browns history. Not because Shador is going to turn into Tom Brady, but because you're going to cut a cash cow for your team and just let him walk somewhere for free. I don't believe he'll do that, but other people's quarterback situations will dictate this situation as well.
I think the only thing that kind of changes the situation is if somebody is willing to give the Browns a 2nd or 3rd draft pick for either quarterback.
Yeah,
I doubt that would happen for any team.
Yeah.
Even Dylan Gabriel, I think there are guys who perform far worse than him in the preseason, namely the Cowboys backup quarterback. Now I hate to be hard. I had high hopes for Milton, man, but
I
he
did
just.
too. I'm not a Cowboys fan, but
I had high hopes for him, but he so far it looks like he doesn't have it.
Like Anthony Richardson Jr., in my opinion.
And so, and again, you have the situation with the coach, and Anthony Richardson. There's a lot in the quarterback position to be settled.
Absolutely.
In the NFL, and I'm looking forward to seeing what ultimately transpires and see if maybe Dylan Gabriel or maybe even Shador can find themselves in a more situation that provide more opportunity.
I think if the number was right, maybe Shador, Dylan Gabriel. It's hard for me to not. The most I feel like any team would give up for Dylan Gabriel is a conditional 7th round pick. I don't see anybody giving anything higher because traditionally, that's not what any quarterbacks have gone for. Traditionally, we've seen good starting quality quarterbacks go for 2nd, 3rd round picks before. A backup 3rd, 4th string rookie that's unproven, I couldn't see anything more than 7. Shador is more interesting because there's quarterback injuries for teams that are trying to compete. If you're a bad team, like the Saints, they're not going to trade for a quarterback because they're going to be bad regardless. But what's going on in Los Angeles with the Rams is interesting because although Stafford is scheduled to play week 1, we know the injuries he's battling. Garoppolo's that backup. He's an even more injury-prone quarterback than Matt Stafford. So that could potentially get tricky because they have a Super Bowl ready, contending roster ready right now to go.
And the Garoppolo, I want to say, is the last kind of backup quarterback that you got a significant haul for. I don't want to say they only wanted a 2nd round pick, and I think they got a 2nd round pick for him. I want to say the Eagles gave up maybe a 6th round pick for Kenny Pickett
exactly.
when they traded for
6th round pick,
or it may have even been a conditional.
Yeah, I think it was conditional, but it was
6 or 7, and then the Browns gave away a 7 for him to move there. So historically, to your point, there's not been a lot of draft capital given up for what was considered a backup quarterback, and when you talk about Shador Sanders and Dylan Gabriel, those guys are on the depth chart behind Kenny Pickett.
Exactly.
It would probably be more likely that if there is a trade for a quarterback, it will be Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, Pickett, I think, will be the guy. I think he's the odd man out just for missing those 2 games, honestly. You want to see, can we build on Dylan Gabriel? You want to see, can we build on what Shador did? Pickett hadn't even given you anything to build on, so he's probably the odd man out. Reports are saying they're going to keep, it's looking like they're going to keep 4 quarterbacks, 5 if you count Deshaun Watson, who's on IR, going into the season, which is a lot. You never really see that happening in the NFL, but this is a unique situation that they put their own selves in. So we'll obviously be keeping in with this. Flacco was named the starter, so that kind of takes some of the press media back that's kind of pushing in on who's going to be that guy. Somebody earned the spot. So let's get this out the way now. Flacco's going to be our day 1 starter. Folks, we weren't on the show yesterday, but as I've coined before, we like to do Football Mondays and talk about what we've seen from the previous weekend. So far, we don't have high school and college to talk about. That's all going to change this next upcoming week. But the NFL did give us something to watch in the preseason. I want to talk about some of the storylines that we saw in the preseason. And I also want to give out some bold predictions that we have for this upcoming football season as well. First, though, a couple more of the situations going on. 2 quarterback situations. Really 3, I guess, one of them. But 2 quarterback situations. One, the New Orleans Saints. Their last preseason game looked like a disaster. For those of you that did watch, the 30-year-old rookie go out there, Tyler Shutt, goes out in his debut, does not play well at all. And then also the quarterback situation in Indianapolis. First off, Indianapolis has come out and named Daniel Jones a starter. Now, I want y'all to go back, and I'll be putting a video out, but go back and check the film. When they signed him in February, March, and I said right here on the show, he's going to be the starter day 1 for the Indianapolis Colts, because I'm a Texans fan, so obviously I watch the division heavily. Anthony Richardson is not the answer as of right now for the Indianapolis Colts. Just running the offense. We talked about his week 1 performance where he got hurt off of, Wayne was just on here playing the NFL. Talks about the vanilla defenses you see in the preseason. They're coming at, 6-man pressure. You got 5 offensive linemen. You got to check somebody to address the 6th guy, or you're just going to get hit. You watch Anthony Richardson not do that, come out there, get hit, gets injured in the play. It's the little things like that the Colts have seen repeatedly over the last 2 or 3 years, along with the health of Anthony Richardson. I think he's played, close to 1,500 snaps in the NFL, and guys that have been drafted after him, Caleb Williams, some of these other guys have already played like 3,000, 2,000, 3,000 snaps, 2,500 snaps, and he's got years ahead of him. You think about the lack of snaps in college. He only played 10 games. He started 10 games in college. That's all Anthony Richardson did. Daniel Jones, although he's not going to come in and be Tom Brady in this situation as far as winning the QB battle, or Drew Brees in this situation, but I think he can run that offense better than what Anthony Richardson is. What do you think about the Colts coming out and naming Daniel Jones the starter over their number 4 pick overall from just a couple of years ago in Anthony Richardson?
I mean, they didn't want to be beholden to Anthony Richardson, quarterback, so they went and traded for a guy to compete with it. Mm-hmm. When they bring in a guy to compete with the quarterback, that means they're not happy with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So though Richardson is the guy they drafted, they brought Daniel Jones in to compete with him, and so that means they weren't happy with Richardson. Again, my issue with Richardson is this. If you want him to run a conventional offense, then he's not your guy. The other side of it, running something more like what Jalen Hurts runs, doesn't seem like he can stay healthy.
Yeah.
So what do you do in that situation? The offense that he can run, he can't stay healthy, and it makes for a really frustrating situation, I'm sure, for the organization.
Yeah.
You bring a guy in like Daniel Jones, and like I said, I'm a Cowboy fan. I absolutely love Daniel Jones when he's on the other team.
Yeah. I bet.
You know what I mean? In my opinion, he plays with no courage.
Yeah.
He is not instinctive in the passing game. Though he's a great athlete, I think he's not even instinctive.
Underrated athlete, honestly.
He's not instinctive in the run game.
No.
He's gonna run the play the way you design it. If the play is not there, he's gonna, he's not gonna try to make a play. He's not gonna extend the play. He's gonna make the play that's there. And a lot of times in the NFL, it's not there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not there. And the guys who whether it be Mahomes, whether it be Lamar, whether it be Josh Allen, the guys that can extend the play and create plays, those are the big-time quarterbacks in this league. And Daniel Jones, though he may be, if in fact he has a team with all the other components, I believe he can be serviceable. But he'll never be that guy.
No.
Or what the young people say, he'll never be him.
Yeah, that is true.
He'll never be him. And I don't think they were looking for him when they brought him on board. They were looking for somebody to replace who they thought was him.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was. Daniel Jones, that's what I said a couple months ago. Daniel Jones getting traded here. He was brought in to replace Anthony Richardson. They seen the writing on the wall. As you just brought up the offense, they tried the RPO thing, the Shane Steichen. That's what they want to run. They want to run that same offense that got the Eagles to the Super Bowl the first time that they lost to Kansas City. Shane Steichen was the offensive coordinator then. They want that RPO. They've got they got a pretty good offensive line. Quentin Nelson, one of the best guards in the league. They got one of the best running backs in the league with Jonathan Taylor. They want to run that style of offense. But that requires quick decision making, quick reads. Either I'm going to get the ball out, I'm going to take off, or I'm going to get it to this running back. Anthony Richardson wasn't processing. He wasn't the supercomputer that Dylan Gabriel is being proclaimed to be by Sue Brown's personnel, but wasn't processing that information. Daniel Jones coming in, he'll be able to run that offense. Will he be a great quarterback? No, we've already seen that for Daniel Jones. He's not going to be a great quarterback. As you said, off script is terrible for Daniel Jones. With the way the Giants were constructed, everything was off script because the line was bad, the receivers were bad, everything was bad. So everything was off script.
And he was bad.
And he was bad with it, thus making him go into what he did. But the one season they did have success, they were able to run the ball. They were able to get to their first option guys, or first read guys, and they were able to have slight success. That's what they want to do here. And they also drafted Daniel Jones Jr., which is, as he calls, White Vic, and out of Riley Leonard, I was about to say Duke, out of Notre Dame last year. So the writing is already on the wall for Anthony Richardson. He's out of his job. His agent is already coming out and saying they're disappointed and they're unsure about the future of Anthony Richardson with the Indianapolis Colts. Well, the first thing is you're not going to control that. I don't know if his agent, I don't know exactly who his agent is. I don't know if it's a newer guy, but you're not going to come in and control this because the Colts are going to do whatever they want with him in this situation. They don't have to do anything. We can keep him here, and if Daniel Jones gets hurt, we'll throw him back out there. If they wanted somebody who wants to give up a second or third round pick for this guy, they'll do that. But you're not going to come out and dictate those terms. But shout out to the Colts, man. Daniel Jones becomes the day one starter. Anthony Richardson looked visibly upset when they tried to interview him afterwards, and said he's just going to focus on football and stuff like that. Well, stuff you're supposed to say. There's nothing you can't say here. You lost your job. You competed in training camp.
And let's be honest. In these kind of situations, there's nothing that Daniel Jones can show in preseason that would warrant him displacing a young Anthony Richardson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly.
Because I'm sure Anthony Richardson is saying, hey, man, the Giants gave you 5 years to prove that you're a starting quarterback in the NFL. You're not. Can I just get the same runway that Daniel Jones got? And again, I think he has an argument, right?
Yeah.
To say that, but ultimately, I don't think Steichen drafted him, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was drafted before Steichen.
Yeah.
Steichen is not beholden to make him work or anything like that. I'm sure there's some other guys he'd like to have in those positions. And like I said, ultimately, one of the things I always say, the relationship between the quarterback and the head coach in the NFL is so important. And the team success a lot of times mirrors that. We had a situation in Philly last year where it got kind of rocky for Jalen Hurts and
A.J. Brown.
No, Jalen Hurts
and the coach
and Sirianni.
Yeah.
Sirianni was smart enough to say, "Hey, I'm going to take the blame for the deteriorating relationship, and I'm going to do what I can to improve our quarterbacks' relationship with our quarterback." Not all the coaches have that same. What would you call that? The same awareness, the same humility.
Yes.
To straighten that situation. Now, is Daniel Jones, is Anthony Richardson, Jalen Hurts? Probably not.
No.
But my point is, it doesn't seem like Shane Steichen has done, or the coach have done anything to kind of make Anthony Richardson feel warm and fuzzy while he's been there.
Shane Steichen knows he's got to win games this year. I understand that y'all drafted him, as you brought up a great point. He didn't draft him. Y'all drafted him number 4. I believe Frank Reich, another Eagles guy, was at the time the head coach then when they drafted him. But I don't have to try to make this work. I'm trying to keep my job, because if we go 6-11 again and miss the playoffs, when we have honestly the last 2 or 3 years have had a playoff caliber team, but our quarterback play was bad, I'm gonna get fired. So none of this matters anyway. I'm gonna bench this guy. I'm gonna bring in Daniel Jones. I'm gonna go get a Daniel Jones lookalike and draft him and Riley Leonard out of here. And those are the guys I'll try to move forward with. If I can get to 9 wins and make the playoffs, 10 wins and make the playoffs this year, I bought myself some more time. Then I'll find who the future guy is. But I gotta win right now in order to keep my job. That's what I believe they're trying to do, man. Anthony Richardson just has problems processing it. It's nothing physical with him. He can throw the ball 80 yards. The dude's built like a Mack truck. He's trucking people. He seems to make unlimitless highlight plays against my Texans every year, even though they lose every time they play us. But his highlight tape looks ridiculous every single time. Can't make the little throws. Can't do the little things.
And Anthony Richardson is that guy that, in relief of any quarterback, he's gonna be a problem.
Oh yeah.
But it's when you get the game plan for him,
Yes.
get to set up a game plan to stop his skill set, make him throw the ball down the field, cloudy up his reads and stuff like that. Enable and again, I think the RPO game works for quarterbacks quite a bit.
Worked for Hurts that year.
It worked for her. It worked for Hurts last year, but the issue is you got to stay healthy.
Yes.
And you got to remember the year that Jalen Hurts wasn't healthy. How did it turn out for the Eagles?
Exactly.
They got smoked by Tampa Bay, didn't
Yes, they did.
So,
Yes, they did.
so you got to have a healthy quarterback running that. He just can't seem to stay healthy when he's been given the opportunity.
Yeah, so Anthony Richardson, I mean, this might be the end of him at the Colts. Will he get another opportunity? Absolutely. Coaches have, at times, bigger egos than the players. Everybody feels like, I'm the guy that can make this guy work. So Anthony Richardson's going to get another job. They're going to get another bite at the apple with this. Just might not be at the Indianapolis Colts. The other QB situation I want to talk about, New Orleans Saints. Now, this one's not as much. There's not as much importance on this one because the Saints are going to be terrible. I've already said I think the Saints are going to be the #1 pick. They're going to be the worst team in the league this year, in my opinion. If they come in, they draft Tyler Show. That was really what started a lot of the Shador conversation. When guys didn't draft him in the first round, it was okay. Well, maybe they just didn't think he was first round quarterback. But as we see Tyler Show and Dylan Gabriel and some of these other guys start to get drafted, then the question mark comes out. Tyler Show didn't look the best in his second preseason game. He went 9 for 12, but he only had 60 yards. Got sacked a few times in there as well. Spencer Rattler, in my opinion, clearly outplayed him when he came in, and I think Spencer Rattler is going to get that #1 job. Did the Saints overdraft Tyler Show? Is this already looking like one of those, man, what were y'all doing type of deals by taking him in the second round? Because I felt like Show was a quarterback that was probably going to be there third or fourth round, in my opinion, but he was the third quarterback off the board out of the entire draft. This is already looking like it's coming back to bite them a little bit.
So, I got these theories.
Yeah.
Got these theories. So my theory in this draft, other than the Titans, I want to exclude the Titans from this theory.
Yep.
What teams didn't want to do is draft anybody who would hinder them from being part of the Arch Manning sweepstakes that could take place next year.
Yep.
Again, just think about this. Why would the Saints, who probably had the worst quarterback situation
Definitely.
of anybody in the draft, draft the worst, oldest quarterback that you could?
Yep.
Even if you think about who's available, and you think that you're going to need a quarterback, why wouldn't you draft Jackson Dart? Let's take Shador out of it. Why wouldn't you? I think the Saints had 8, 9. I can't think.
Yeah, they had a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
They went away from that in their top 10 pick, drafted him top of the second round. Jackson Dart got drafted probably 10 spots in front of him.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you take Jackson Dart in that situation? You need a quarterback back.
Yeah.
So who? Okay, of the quarterbacks left, I'm not gonna take the best one. I'm gonna take the worst of all the quarterbacks
And
left
oldest.
and oldest, so that maybe next year I still have a justification to draft Arch Manning.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think what we're missing as fans is a lot of this past draft was just teams posturing to be in the running to draft Arch Manning. It was never about how good Shador was. It was really about Shador has the talent and ability to put the team in a situation where they won't have access to Arch Manning. I almost think that's the situation with what's going on now in Cleveland is, okay, we know Dylan isn't a quarterback that can threaten the vibe. If Arch is available tomorrow, they know that the fan base will be okay with drafting Arch Manning.
Yep.
But what if we have a situation where Shador plays majority of the season, we end up 7-10, and Shador shows a lot of promise.
Yeah.
We have our 2 first-round picks. Would we be doing ourselves a disservice to trade both of those first-round picks to jump up and get the #1 overall pick?
Yeah.
That way, we'd be drafting for a position that we already have have a competent player and a fan favorite in that position.
Yeah.
So you got to think about again. I'm just thinking about what this means. There's no reason for the Saints to draft Tyler Shupp.
No.
He is a below average college quarterback.
Below average.
It took him, and what I mean by that, he was 26 years old before he was a competent college quarterback. By any measure, if it takes you 6 years to get it right, I don't care how right you get it in your 6th year, you're a below average quarterback.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
You take him and you had an opportunity to draft Shedeur Sanders as the Saints. You had an opportunity to draft Jackson Dart in the Saints. Hell, you had a chance to draft anybody you wanted. Anybody you wanted other than Cam Ward, and you decided to draft Tyler Shupp. Of all the people, like at the time, it didn't make very much sense at all. I was like, people were talking about, oh, they fell in love with Tyler Shupp. No, you said, I'm going to draft this guy. This guy is guaranteed a bust right here. There's no way we're going to win any games with this guy at quarterback.
Absolutely.
And we're going to give him a shot.
Yeah,
That keeps us in the running for Arch Manning, because I think Arch Manning, him finishing, coming out this year or next, is all contingent on what teams end up in the top 5.
Absolutely. I say the exact same thing. He actually just came out today, and when speaking to one of the press media, and said that his decision is not made for next year, because his granddaddy already came out and said he's staying no matter what. He's staying 2 years. I don't care what y'all talking about.
Well, for him, the money. So you got to understand the dilemma that a guy like Arch is in.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do the math. Arch supposedly is getting $8 million a year at Texas, right? He stays this year. He gets another $8 million. So the reality is that the raise in the rookie's pay scale, he's only going to get probably $2 or $3 million annually difference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So he's probably getting the rookie minimum now is a little over $10 million average, because I want to say Cam got $40 million.
Yeah.
So it's a little over. It's a little over $40 million.
Mm-hmm.
Just say next year, if the rookie, the number 1 pick, gets $48 million, it's only a $2 million difference. He's going to get that money anyway. Plus, if he stays another year, he'll get the money he made in college. So he could potentially come out somewhat better financially, even though his clock is going to start later. Here's the thing with Arch Manning: if he can play it off, he's going to get a re-up. He's going to get a re-up after his 3rd season. Definitely. They're not going to play with him like they play with all these other quarterbacks. He's not going to get the Dak and the
Lamar Jackson,
Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson treatment. He's going to get the Carson Wentz, Josh Allen.
We'll pay you
what's the other guy in Jacksonville?
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence.
We'll he's going to get that treatment.
I agree. And I think he's going to, the biggest point is depending on who gets that number 1 pick is when he's going to come out. And everybody was saying Cleveland was tanking for Arch Manning. Like I said, Cleveland's not going to be bad enough to get Arch Manning. The Saints not only are willing to tank for Arch, they don't have a choice because their team is bad. I was just going through the roster. This is the nastiest roster in the NFL. This is a bad roster. Nobody on this. I'm not gonna say nobody. This is a bad roster for the New Orleans Saints, though. And also, who would Archie give his blessing to if he had to wait for his son or his grandson to come out and had to wave his flag and say, "We'll let you come out"? Maybe to the place where he grew up. Maybe the place where Archie started all of this, and why the Manning family has been in New Orleans for the last 50 years. Because of the Saints, that I can see being a story. That is probably the best point of all of that is that's why they drafted Tyler Shupp. Because after you saying it, okay, now it opens up a little bit and I can see why. Because I've been confused since April on why in the world do you take a 27-year-old rookie quarterback that wasn't good in the ACC. We're talking about the 4th best conference out of the Power 4 conferences. He wasn't good in that conference. And somehow he's going to come to the NFL and be good. Definitely not at all. But that quarterback situation, we see where it's going. They want the number 1 pick. The Saints are bad. They need help going into next year. Could the Browns potentially get it? Yes, because of the trade they made this year to trade back. If they can offer too much capital, no, I don't care what New Orleans at, they'll listen to that trade. If they go in there offering 3-4 first-round picks,
When you think about it, you know, Carolina probably predicted to finish at the bottom of their league. I don't see
New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans. Okay, so you have New Orleans, Carolina, Tampa, Atlanta. But what I'm saying is, they're one of the worst. Carolina is predicted to be one of the worst teams in the league.
Yes.
I'm not sure what their over-under is in wins, but I'm sure it's pretty low. And I'm sure Cleveland is right down there with them. And if you have the 4 or 5 pick, just say you have 4 or 5, and you're Carolina, do you trade back to get the 4 or 5 pick to give someone an opportunity to draft Arch Manning? Carolina get it.
Yeah.
If Carolina's in there, they're in there like swimwear. What I'm saying is, if you have the 4 or 5 pick and you're Cleveland, the bottom line is you're going to have an opportunity to present a package together to get that number 1 overall pick.
The Panthers are 6.5 wins right now.
What is Cleveland?
Cleveland Browns 4.5.
So they're better odds to be. So is there anybody with less wins than 4.5?
No, I see the Browns are 4.5, and no, that's
So the Browns are the favorite to have the number 1 pick overall.
And you know that's swayed by betting, by who bets on that. Probably the teams are betting that they're going to be the worst. But I clearly think New Orleans they're just 1 win ahead. They got 5.5. But I clearly think New Orleans is worse than Cleveland. The Raiders are teetering on that because their division is so tough. I think the Raiders are better than both of them, but their division is so tough. I can see them having a pretty bad year.
What is the Raiders?
Raiders 6.5. They got 6.5 for them, but because their division is so tough, I think it could be closer to that. But I don't think the Browns are getting 6 wins. I don't think the Panthers are getting. Well, the Panthers might get 6 wins. Let me take that away. I don't think the Saints are getting 6 wins, and I don't think the Raiders are getting 6 wins. So those are my teams as far as in contention for being able to get that last spot for the Arch Manning sweepstakes. But I definitely can see that happening. But that gave me some more insight on maybe why the New Orleans Saints decided to go out there and pick him number 1. Before I get some of my bold predictions, in news, Cam Newton is getting his jersey retired at Auburn. This is much very well deserved or very well
long overdue. He should have got his jersey. He should have got his. He should have got his retired like Travis and Shador.
The year you leave.
Yeah.
2011 is when Cam should have got his jersey retired.
Yeah.
Most definitely needs to be retired in Carolina. I don't know what they got going on with that stuff in Carolina. Cam said he hadn't even been back to the facility since which is crazy. I don't know what's going on with that, but well deserved, man. Cam Newton, as I've said on the show multiple times, I think Cam Newton is one of the greatest college football players of all time, if not the greatest college football player of all time. Think of what he did.
Definitely had the greatest year.
In my opinion, for sure, the greatest year. To go from a team with no NFL prospects to win the SEC and then win the national championship was absolutely phenomenal. But what do you think?
Undefeated.
Undefeated season. Taking out LSU, Alabama. They played Clemson that year. They played Oregon in the national championship game. No other player had but one start on that entire offense. Somebody started one game. Can't remember who it was in the NFL. And Cam, started however many games he started. But only one player started one game in the NFL on that entire offense. Only one other player on that team made it to the NFL, and that was Nick Fairley, who played defensive tackle, played for the Lions for a few years. What do you think about Cam getting his jersey retired in Auburn now?
Man, I mean, it's long overdue.
Definitely.
He is, even though he only played 1 year, he has to be on there Mount Rushmore of players right there next to, forget, I want to call him by his first name, but Vincent Jackson.
Yeah. Bo
Vincent Bo Jackson. He's right up there with him.
Absolutely.
I don't, I just think, like I say, it's long overdue. Mm-hmm. I think really, the way Auburn forced him to separate himself from their father during that championship run really kind of soured him. It's almost like they thought his dad was lying about him not taking money.
They definitely thought he was lying. They pretty much came out and said it. You lying.
But like Cam, I heard Cam talk about this. He said we from the hood. if we had got that kind of money, you would have knew we had some money.
Can't hide money.
Yeah.
He showed up with some watch. It was like the first thing I ever did.
He was like, nah, my dad didn't get that kind of money, and if he did, Dad did a good job of
a great job of hiding it.
Yeah, because I don't think that was one of those situations where they threatened to suspend him, they threatened whatever, and his dad didn't fold, didn't flinch, didn't do nothing. He said I'll stay away from it. I won't go to Heisman. I won't go to any more games. I'll stay away. And his son went ballistic on the field. I guess in hindsight they should have said because he was one of the guys that he actually for a lot of those games looked like he was a grown man out there playing with little boys.
Yes,
and this was in the SEC.
Man.
He was making those dudes look like they were little men.
Yeah.
Trying to tackle him, whatever. And these guys would ultimately end up being NFL players.
Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
That he's playing against Patrick Peterson and Tyron Matthews.
Yeah.
And C.J. Mosley on the Alabama like
that. Yeah, and he's being a bad man out there, showing his acting a baboon out there.
My favorite quarterback since he was the first guy that reminded me of Vince Young. Vince Young is kind of the guy that made me really fall in love with college football, watching him at the University.
But Vince Young was a smooth criminal.
Very smooth operator.
Now, in Cam could be smooth, but he also had that other part of him where he would just be a physical monster.
Animal. You trucking defensive linemen, you getting up screaming back into their helmets.
Yeah.
Like we don't see quarterbacks doing that kind of stuff. He came from being behind Tebow, who didn't talk. He just played with grit.
Like I say, I remember when he played, I can't remember, maybe it was South Carolina, and he was going in for the time or go-ahead touchdown. And rather than the DB take him on up top, he tried to shoestring him, and he drove right over him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my point is saying, like, I think there's a certain mentality that we thought about quarterbacks that we didn't realize. At the time, we were like, oh, how you going to try to cut a quarterback?
Yeah.
And then you realize, hey, that dude he's standing next to in that huddle is a 300-pound offensive lineman, and he's looking him eye to eye, and that's when you're like, oh,
yes.
He's not the typical quarterback. He's something different.
Yeah. He's bigger than everyone out there on the defense, outside of maybe the nose tackle. Everybody else out there, he's bigger than you, and he's playing quarterback, man. Absolute man amongst boys is a great way to describe him. That's exactly the way to describe Cam Newton at Auburn. Man, one of my all-time favorite quarterbacks.
For those of you guys who didn't get a chance to see that 2010 season, you missed something that was. It hasn't been anything quite like that. There hasn't been another player quite like that. RG3 had a great year. Johnny Manziel.
The closest I can even remember getting that same feeling was watching Lamar Jackson his freshman year play against Florida State. It's two different styles completely.
But here's the deal though. This is what, and maybe you can understand this. It's not that he played great, but he had maybe 6 or 7 straight big games in a row.
Yes.
Like that was the deal. Like he had 6 or 7 big games in every game.
To LSU and Alabama.
It all looked the same.
Yeah, everything. Down at halftime, we seen the speeches. They got film out now of him giving halftime speeches to his teammates. They come back out, play like some dogs.
And he come out and act a baboon.
Man, Cam Newton was
red booty style.
The definition of unstoppable in college football was definitely Cam Newton. Shout out to Cam for being able to get his jersey retired. Well, we got a couple minutes here left on CenTex Prime Time. I want to give out a couple bold predictions, and I want Rocky to do some of his bold predictions.
Okay.
We have for football season this upcoming season, folks. Football season is a bold prediction on any level, high school, college, football, NFL, wherever you want to do it. One of them, I'll give a couple of mine out. One, in college football, I think LSU is going to win the SEC this year. I know they're not. It's hard to consider LSU an underdog because they're a premier school. But when you have Georgia, when you got Alabama, when you got the top dog, when you have Texas now in the SEC, that can seem kind of a long shot. Texas right now is the favorite to win it. Georgia's right behind them on the odds. I think LSU has the best returning quarterback in the SEC in Garrett Nussmeier. I think they have a stacked roster. They went out in NIL and spent some bread this offseason. They had one of the worst secondaries. Why they lost almost every game they lost last year? Because their secondary They bring in 6 of the top transfers in the DB room to come in to help fill in their secondary. They get the number 1 corner in the South in DJ Pickett, a 6'5" freshman corner that's going to probably start for them this year as well. I like LSU and what they're building out there, man. That's one of my bold predictions for them. NFL, I have a couple of them. One of them, I kind of started alluding to this last year. I think this is, in NFL, the first year that we're going to, in the last decade, that we're going to watch an AFC Championship game and the Kansas City Chiefs will not be in it. I think this is the first time since 2018, that the Kansas City Chiefs will not be in the AFC Championship game. That could look like, I think Baltimore is going to be a staple in there. That's my guys I have. I think behind them, we can see a Josh Allen. I think behind them, we can see some other up-and-coming contenders that could just honestly get the right matchup in the playoffs and make their way, similar to the Commanders last year. You get the right matchups, you make your way into the AFC Championship. That's one of them I have in the NFL. Another one I have, this one is college football. And this is not just this year, but I think going forward. I think that the Baylor Bears will make the college football playoffs before the Texas A&M Aggies make the college football playoffs. They were right there on the brink last year. A&M was just outside of that college football playoff. I think Baylor, whether that be this season, maybe the season after, will make a college football playoff appearance before we see the A&M Aggies make a college football playoff appearance. Some of that is because Baylor's in the Big 12, easier path, and A&M is in the SEC. But we just see the consistent, repeated behavior from A&M over the last decade. To start the season out ranked, sometimes top 10, sometimes top 5. 6 out of the last 6 years they started the season ranked and have finished unranked in the last 6 years for the Texas A&M Aggies. My last one is the Jaguars after this season will give up on Trevor Lawrence as their starting quarterback. They're going to pull the plug on the Trevor Lawrence experiment. Those are some of my bold predictions. I think Trevor Lawrence obviously is a pretty decent quarterback, but I've seen him in preseason, even though he had a better second game than he did his first game. Thinking about this division, thinking about the AFC, I don't see how the Jags are going to find themselves successful, and I think Trevor Lawrence will end up getting the brunt of that decision. Because this current regime, new GM, new head coach, new offensive coordinator, new quarterback coach, none of these guys started with Trevor Lawrence. None of these guys picked Trevor Lawrence. He goes out and has a bad season. Somebody's got to get the finger pointed at them. Maybe that'll be Trevor Lawrence. Those are some of my bold predictions I have for this upcoming football season. Rocky, you can rebuttal to any of those, or you can give me your bold predictions that you have as well for any level of football coming up. For this upcoming football
like
season.
I said, I don't think I think all those are plausible.
Yeah.
I got one that off the top of my head that I know that I believe. I believe neither Ohio State or Michigan will win the Big Ten this year.
Okay.
All right. Of course, one of Michigan probably, they're dealing with their situation, but I don't believe for something about Ohio State's quarterback that I don't think I don't think it's messing. The one again, I suspect Baylor will have a good season. But I'm just not sure. Like I say, man, you know how I feel about Sawyer Robertson.
Yeah.
I need to see more. I need to see him in some big games, doing more. That bowl game really left a bad taste in my mouth.
Against LSU, for sure.
So that's one thing. And considering a lot of LSU players didn't play, they still got whacked.
Still got my whole game,
so,
start to finish.
So that was kind of tough. So I think that in the NFL, the Trevor Lawrence deal, I think that's pretty.
Yeah.
Now, what they gonna do with that dead cap money? I don't know.
We don't know.
I just don't see a situation where Kansas City doesn't play in the AFC Championship.
Okay.
I don't see that being part of the future. I believe that means that when they finish, okay, let me tell you what that means. That means that they finish in a situation where they have to play both with Buffalo and Lamar, and they lose to both. I see him losing to one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see him losing to both. You know what I mean? I don't see either they lose to both in that they first off they have to finish behind both of them, one or both in the standings.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Because if they finish above them, I think they're guaranteed to be in the
which they've been doing the
Yeah.
last decade.
Now if they finish below them, they still only have to beat one of them to play in the championship. So, and I think they can beat one of them.
Yeah, and that's why I put them. If I had to have a bold prediction, why I did that, because I think they're going to be more, instead of 15-2 like last year, I think they're more 11-5 type of team this upcoming season. With that being said, if you play first round and it is Josh Allen or it is Lamar, and then second round you play either one of those guys too, I think it could get tricky. I'm not saying he can't beat them.
I got a bold prediction.
Okay.
And this is for my Cowboy fans out there.
This is what we wanted.
I'm gonna give it to you right here. You're getting it right here from me, from my lips to your ears. Brian Schottenheimer will not be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys next season.
1 year deal for old Shotty. I'm not mad at that. I could with the sporadicness of the current front office, meaning Jerry Jones.
I've seen nothing in preseason that makes me believe that he's gonna be back as quarterback. He actually got a job where he's probably the only guy Jerry was the only guy that would hire him for a job.
For a head coach.
Nobody else would hire.
Not
And
one
so that's
team.
why all you single guys out there, I want y'all to have hope about it, right? If you're out there struggling with the women and you're not able to find that special someone, I don't want you to give up. Don't throw in the towel. Don't switch teams. Don't do any of that. Because it only takes one to say yes, and then you can be a happily married man like me and Jay.
Yeah.
That's all it takes is one, right?
All it take one yes.
Yeah.
You get another no. Only take one yes.
Yeah. So
that's they teach in business
and I
school.
think now, unfortunately, Nia and Keisha ain't give us up after 1 year. But I think Jerry.
He might be ready.
I think Jerry said yes, and he's going. After what I think this season is going to be, you know, and what I mean by that, I think we go back to our status quo season of 8-8.
Yep, that's what it's looking like. This looks like.
And how can you go? How can you fire
12-win coach?
A 12-win coach who ended up having to play more than half the season with backup quarterback. How do you then go?
Still won 7 games, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. How do you then go to hire a new guy? He has Dak. He has CD. He has the salary that he's paying. Gonna have to end up paying Micah, and then you go 8-8. I just think Jerry won't stand for that, and he'll get him out of there.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that one at all. I could definitely see it, especially after you broke it down. I don't think he has that much loyalty to Shotty. I think there was that loyalty to a fault with Jason Garrett. Some people felt like that with Mike McCarthy. I don't think it was loyal to a fault because he was, at the end of the day, he was winning 12 games.
And I think Jerry, just think about this. This is my last little point I'm making. I think Jerry has a soft spot for legacy guys.
Yes.
You got to remember,
he does.
he hired Wade Wilson, whose dad was in the NFL. He hired Jason Garrett, whose dad was a scout for the Cowboys. He hired he's now hired Shotty. His dad was an NFL guy.
Yep.
I think that father-son legacy kind of situation, I think Jerry's really into that because of the way he runs his business and what he hopes his sons are able to do with the franchise after he's long gone. But Jerry, what I tell you to do, if you want to make sure this franchise stays on top years after you're gone, sell it.
Thank you. That's what I was gonna say.
Sell it.
There's a thing out here that's called
get that 10 Billy,
minority
get that 12
ownership.
Get that 12 Billy